Alrighty, good afternoon and welcome back. We're going to start out at the pits and spits tonight. We're going to do a reverse sear on about a 1.3 pound ribeye. Basically, to get my ribeye ready, it's been sitting in the fridge for about 3 hours on a drying rack into the dry brine with just some table salt on each side. But I'll just quick open this up. I just started it up. But when I bought my pits and spits, I made sure that I bought the Trapdoor assembly so I can do some nice reverse searing. So the way we're going to set this cook up this afternoon or tonight or whatever is I'm going to start the ribeye and some potatoes on the top shelf, and then when I hit that internal temp that I'm looking for, probably around like that 115, 120 range, I'm going to pull that door off with a pair of welding gloves, pull the door off, slide the heat deflector over, put the bottom shelf in, and then crank this thing on. So besides that, I'll probably pick back up when we're putting the steak on. Alrighty, down at the pits and spits, let's go ahead and throw the food on. I decided against the smashed potatoes, I think. I don't think. I did decide against them just because for some reason I have bad luck when I do red potatoes, smashed potatoes. So these are just two red potatoes I cut in half, partway cook them in the microwave, and then put some melted butter on it, and put some melted butter on it with some seasoning. But you can see I just put the ribeye on. What I'm going to use to monitor temp is I got one of these needle probes with my ThermoWorks smoke, just because it's not that thick cut of a steak, otherwise I would use the one that came with the grill. And I'm just going to go ahead and probe this thing right through the middle, just like that. And then I'm going to close this thing down. We're cooking at 180, and I'm going to bring the internal on the steak probably up to about 115, and then we'll pick back up. Okay, so the meat's been on for an hour and 20 minutes, and it has reached an internal temp of 115 degrees. So what I went ahead and did is I pulled it off and I got it underneath some tin foil on a plate upstairs. So now we're going to go ahead and get this thing ready for the sear. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and take off this Trapdoor here. I'm just going to put it on my bottom rack. And then you can see I have welding gloves on, and hopefully you can see this. I'll try to hold the iPad in a little closer. We're going to go ahead and slide the deflector over to the left like so, and then that exposes the fire pot. So now I'm going to go ahead and, apologize for a longer video, a bit bumpy here. I'm going to go ahead and put the bottom grate in now. And I'm going to turn the temperature of the pits and spits up to 600, and I will pick back up when we're searing this thing off. Alright, so just real quick, I figured I'd give you a quick shot at the steak before I season it up. I did not season this steak before I cooked it today for the first part of this cook. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Today I decided not to. So the way we're going to prep this thing up is I have like a pad of melted butter here. That's going to go on both sides and all the edges, and then we're going to use the Grill Mates brown sugar bourbon. So now I'm going to go ahead and get that steak prepped, and we'll pick back up when we're searing it off. Alrighty, so per pits and spits directions, you let this thing heat up until the grill temp reaches 400 degrees, you're ready to sear. I can tell you that it took about 10 to 12 minutes, really wasn't timing it, but now we're ready to sear, so let's go ahead and do that. I did put my ThermoWorks smoke probe over the top of the burn box, and within like 5 minutes it wasn't reading anymore, so I think that means it went over like 570 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that right over there, shut this thing down, and let it go for 2 minutes aside, and hopefully she'll be done. On a side note, the pits and spits directions also say to use like a cast iron pan to grill grates. I have grill grates, I have a cast iron pan. I pretty much just wanted to see what it does without any of that. So we'll pick back up in 2 minutes when it's ready to flip. Alright, 2 minutes are up. Let's go ahead and give her a flip and see how she looks. Not bad at all. So I'm going to go ahead and close this thing down for another 2 minutes, and I will pick back up one more time when it's time to eat. Okay, so we're back and it's time to eat, and when we look at that, I would say that that steak has got a very nice sear over the whole dang thing. Pretty impressed. That was the main reason why I didn't want to use the grill grates on top of it. I do have the grill grates. I've used them a ton. They work great. I just wanted to see how this pits and spits did without them on it, and I would say I would have to give it 2 thumbs up. So I'll go over the cook times, but it's going to vary on the size cut of meat you got, but this was about a 1.3 pound ribeye. Reverse seared it, 180 for an hour and 20 minutes, I think I said. Pulled it off at an internal of 115. Got the pits and spits set up for the direct sear with that Trapdoor drip pan, and then seared it off for 2 minutes aside. So besides that, I'm going to go ahead and eat. You guys and girls have a good night, and we'll see you next time.